Let's talk about protected and unprotected groups. Now, I really do wish I could use a thumbnail that was a lot more interesting because I really wanted to troll Bow Wow just a little bit, but not troll him in a bad way. But he's got this picture up on the internet where Bow Wow is looking very, very saucy. I'm talking about he's looking very cinnamony. He's got quite a bit of ginger in his bread, but it is what it is. My view on gayness nowadays is that I don't care. I've said before, Northern Europeans are very gay. They're extremely gay. They're hyper gay. They're so gay, you could live in a Northern European country or either right here in America, move your ass to Minneapolis or Wisconsin somewhere, and you'll notice there's a bunch of tall ass white women. Like, wow, a lot of these white women are taller than me, But then you find out, not all of those are women. Those are really dudes. And that they've been on hormones ever since they was kids, man. And the reality is that those are also the South Afrikaners. Yeah, exact same people. Ruling over your masculine heroic Zulus for the last 200 years. And oh yeah, the itty bitty little effeminate Chinese. I heard one guy says, hey, all those little Chinese guys look effeminate to me. The little bitty effeminate Chinese, did I remind you that the Zulus just pretty much sold what's left of South Africa to the Chinese? So two groups of gay ass people are ruling over the most masculine people that you view as great, magnificent, and wonderful. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that, on the silliness of black people and anti-gayness, and how anti-gayness has nothing to do with tough guyism, or whether or not you're a tough guy. It's matriarchal, and it's from a woman that, if you think about it, if you remove the weave, and if you remove razors, I've said it once and I say it again. I said it a million times. I said it a million times more. Razors are some of the cheapest, most innovative, beneficial tools that were ever created. Because if you don't like no woman with hair on their face, I'm straight up telling you, no less than 15 to a little over 20% of black women produce hair on their faces. It's the same thing with a lot of white women too. And the only thing that woman got to do is produce hair on her face, and you remove that weave, and you've got the natural thing that she is, and that shit is not always going to necessarily be just a so-called heterosexual female who's with a man. But anyway, we're going to talk about protected and unprotected groups. I've been looking at the gay agenda for the last month very closely, and I've discovered how the gay agenda works. To tell you the truth, I've known for years, but I'm going to go ahead and solidify how it really works. What you're really dealing with is a complex form of deceptive psychology. That's the only way that I could break it down to you. But it's really something that I refer to, I ain't going to say I refer to it as, excuse me, I misspoke. It's referred to as the Hegelian language. Let me say that again. The Hegelian language. The way that this works, one of the ways that this works, is let's say you got a group that's fighting one group. I simply go to one side and say, they hate you. Here goes some guns. And this is what they're going to do to you if you don't take my guns. I go to the other side and say, they hate you. Here goes my guns. And this is what they're going to do to you if you don't take my guns. And you really are playing both sides. There may be, in some cases, a desired side that you want to win, but sometimes it's just a toss-up. I'll just side, I'll make money the entire time they're fighting, selling them guns, fear, and some everything else. And whoever wins, I will dominate and rule over the loser side along with them, and probably rule over them also, being that they are going to have weakened themselves fighting their own people. The way that this works in the gayness, in the gay agenda in America, is on one hand, a group of people, and that would be gay black people, are deceived into thinking that they have rights or that there's some social acceptance of them. I seen a little queen, he's called a butch queen guy. It was just this past weekend, who was checking his mailbox, and he don't really come out of his apartment that much. And the whole time that he was checking his mailbox, it just happened to be some little kids outside, and boy, they was just laughing and going in. Ooh, look at them pants he got on, and he got a beard. Them some jeggings. Girl, he got some jeggings on. He got some jeggings. Mama, that man got some jeggings on, and he got a beard. Look at him. And I'm sitting up here thinking to myself, even at the little kid level, man, you ain't never going to get no cultural acceptance of gay black people. It's just not going to happen among us. And they encourage this group of people to come out and, deceive them into thinking that they have rights. On the other hand, they go to the Christian right, the so-called anti-woke people nowadays. And what they do after they've encouraged the gay people to come out and march all up and down the street with your LGBT flags and your butt cheeks out, they make sure to probably plant a handful of kids at these LGBT rallies, or either put people in the LGBT who says, hey, I want to bring my kids to the LGBT rally, even though that person is not really LGBT, they're an agent. So your sole purpose is to have a kid at the LGBT rally next to your friend with his butt out so that you can take some pictures and then run back to the other side, the Hegelian language, the Christians, and say, hey, look at these punks. They're trying to read to your children at school. Look at these punks. They're trying to talk about sex at school with your children. Look at these punks. They're trying to go into the bathroom and look at the women underneath the stall. Look at these punks. Look at these punks. Look at these punks. Liberals of TikTok. Look at the guy with the pink weave and the purple nose ring with the yellow and green socks. He's a freak. He's a freak. And he's going to do something to your kids. He's messing up society. What has this world come to? And on the other hand, they're going to that same guy that they're pointing to and encouraging him to come forward. Now, let's talk about this whole thing with Bow Wow. If you look at this Google search term, there's a whole lot that little Bow Wow done did. Bow Wow done played in movies. He done performed at concerts. I heard he's got some music coming out. He's got a lot of music from the past. And Bow Wow don't get seen with anything less than some dimes. I ain't gonna lie. That little dude is like, a little dude. He's a little short, little small dude, man. But Bow Wow be with some bad ass motherfucking women. I ain't seen him with a bitch that ain't bad, okay? And what's bad is that all the other dudes in the industry use Bow Wow as a lead man. He's really the dude that can go naturally get these chicks without really having to pay for it. And what they try to do is come in with the money, and then they the ones that pay for the chick. But Bow Wow just go get them. The point I'm making is that Bow Wow does a whole bunch of stuff. If you're a protected group, they're not going to make a rumor being spread by a crackhead, Orlando Brown, the main thing associated with your name. Let me give you an example of a protected group. And I might do a 1 minute short just to display what I'm talking about. And I'm going to put the thumbnail up in my little 1 minute short and show you 300,000 cases of grape and MLSTon in the Catholic Church, including cases of over 500 women claiming that as young women and sometime as underage women below the age of 13, they had metal, or better yet, wooden crosses stuck into their vaginas, and in some cases had their ovaries pulled out. The Catholic Church that you ride by when you are up and down the streets of America, you would not think that this has literally happened there. That is what you call a protected group. You don't have fanning and radiating and continuous news reports. Fox News is not littered to the drum with a whole bunch of people screaming about what happened to them in the Catholic Church. You don't have people being lined up and being sat down for 15 and 30 minutes at a time to tell their story. You don't have people who are graped in the Catholic Church who get an hour to sit on a book TV presentation to sit up there and present a book and tell all the nightmare stories. You don't get politicians and presidents sitting next to people who are victims of the Catholic Church. It doesn't happen. That's a protected group. It's the same thing with the Who's. You know, the ones that we read about out of the Bible, the Who's. But another protected group that I can think of, but I'll just stay on the Who's. Mel Gibson, who's a A-list actor, used to be an A-list actor, came out about a decade and a half ago. This was during the second Bush administration, I think. And he made a statement in which was perceived as anti-Semitic. Mel Gibson is done. He's finished. And the thing that's unique about that is that Mel Gibson was canceled before cancel culture even existed, because Who's will have you canceled. It was the same thing with CNN reporter Rick Sanchez when he said he's never seen a Jew or a Who without a job or who suffered from economic problems. Done. Finished. He's on Al Arabiya. He's out of the country. You got to go somewhere else. And with Mel Gibson, dude, Mel Gibson has played in countless movies. Mel Gibson is an American icon. The dude's name, or better yet, his star, is on Hollywood. Or if it ain't, there's no reason it shouldn't be. Mel Gibson is a legend in Hollywood. A legend. The dude did a Malcolm X type performance with William Wallace. The same way that Denzel Washington mirrored Malcolm X, many people say is the same way that Mel Gibson mirrored William Wallace, the great Irish warrior, resistor against the British. And Mel Gibson has been done, finished, over. That's what you call a protected group. Gay black people are deceived. They're fooled. You know, they're connived. If you Google search black trans woman, the only thing that pops up is a bunch of dead bitches. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a woman? I'm going to just call you a dead bitch. That's the only thing pop up. You don't get no websites that let you know where, you know, you might have some trannies that are educated that went to college, that do, you know, presentations about gay issues at universities and certain important groups that are institutions in various cities in America. Or you might have, you know, the gay people want to go out and feed the low-income school children. Or maybe the gay people want to pass out free condoms, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. They probably want to do something positive, and the point that I'm making is that you don't never see them cast in a light of normalcy. You see black trans woman, and like I say, the only thing you see is a dead bitch. That's it. That's all. You search black trans woman, that you would only think that a nigga puts on a wig and a dress to get killed. That's it. That's all. You get what I'm saying? And if you look at this Bow Wow situation, they've rigged the algorithms. The government, along with Simi Valley, you know, because they know that the internet is where everybody is nowadays, they rigged the algorithms to create gay bashing stories. You get what I'm saying? While simultaneously deceiving black people, black gay people, because every time that Joe Biden stands up there and signs some type of LGBT law or whatever for black people, I be thinking to myself, I wonder if them kids running behind that tranny screaming about that beard and them jeggings care about Joe Biden's bill. if you gay and if you black, go ahead and be whatever it is that you are. If you need counseling, get it. That's if you need it. But don't be deceived into thinking that you have rights. Learn how to build up your finances, protect yourself, and put yourself in position for things to not happen to you, because you do not really have rights. And don't allow yourself to be a useful tool. Let's get into the last little part of this video, and that would be when Funky Dineva and the Fox News panel got hold of this story. Let me give you another example so I can solidify it into your head what a protected group is versus a non-protected group, and how they will even use people from the group that's under attack to attack their very own people. Now, when Funky Dineva was told about this in a certain segment, the only thing that he did was talk about, girl, you all know there's homosexuality in certain regions, and Bow Wow be in certain regions of the country, girl. The rumor's been out for years, girl. Girl, Bow Wow, girl. And you know they say, girl. Look at that little picture, girl. Look at them eyes, girl. Bow Wow, girl. Now, see, let me tell you what the response of Funky Dineva would be if gay black people were a protected group. Number one, who is this clown, Orlando Brown? This man is a crackhead. The second thing that would have happened is that Orlando Brown's finances would have been finally combed over by the IRS, and they would have found the slightest little thing and generated an excuse to publicly put him in handcuffs, so as to say that the person that is spreading this is just some broke-ass loser who is basically in and out of a jail cell. So, if you want to listen to broke losers who are on crack, that are in and out of jail cells, who owe the IRS money, then you can listen to them. The second thing they would have did is try to find anybody with something bad to say about Orlando Brown, so as to destroy his credibility even more. The third thing that they would have did is got in contact with the Simi Valley people and told them, do not, under no circumstance, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, nor many of the major platforms that people go on, allow any hashtag pertaining to Bow Wow's boy pussy and Orlando Brown to in any shape or way occur, and everybody that is underneath that hashtag is to have their account rigged, so that if you hashtag something pertaining to Bow Wow being gay, you are not going to get any responses. And if you do get a response, you ain't going to see it. Only the person that tweeted you will see the tweet that they sent toward you. You won't see the tweet. And, or in other words, the internet buzz and internet traffic behind that particular topic will be systematically eliminated. It won't be fanned, and it won't be systematically radiated or pulsated the way that they do often with, black men. In this particular case, Bow Wow. They're taking that rumor and making it the top thing. You look for it on YouTube, everybody was talking about it. You look for it on Twitter, it's all over the place. That's not a protected group. It's not. And they're actually using gay people like Funky Dineva to literally attack, ridicule, and defile gay people. Funky Dineva doesn't never stand up for his group, and he doesn't never really stand up for himself, really. But, what else can you expect from a dude with a blonde wig and a big-ass beard? But this just been a PSA, and I will do that little short video on the grape cases that are in the Catholic Church. Hope you learn a little something. I'm out.